was that?
Hello there, welcome back to my Deus Ex playthrough. This is part 6, obviously, as the title states. Shooting in this game is absolutely awful, as I just found out. Usually in this game I don't shoot, I just completely stealth the entire game.
What was that?
You know, I mean, I do takeouts on enemies, knockouts or whatever. I knock them out. But I usually get through the game with just stealth. Not to mention, with the director's cut, you can play New Game Plus, so you can, by the time you play the game the second time, you can have a fully maxed out Jensen. So you know, you can just easily. It's a bit like any Metal Gear Solid game. Once you've got perfect ranking on it, once you've got the stealth camo, you can just stealth camo, and depending on which game you're playing, I think it's. What was it on number 3? Not the fear. The sorrow. Once you got the sorrow's camo and the invisible camo, you can go through the entire game with a complete stealth. Nobody can hear your footsteps or anything of the sort. Peace Walker was a decent one. You could have the stealth suit, and that they wouldn't hear your footsteps then either. Metal Gear Solid 3 wasn't actually my favourite. I mean, I know a load of people loved Metal Gear Solid 3, and yeah, it's an alright game. It's definitely up there among the series. I personally prefer number 4. That's my favourite. Excuse me. God. Metal Gear Solid 1's good. Metal Gear Solid 2's okay. 3's not bad. 4's pretty good. Now number 5 is well, number 5 is a tricky one. Ground Zeroes, as it was, you know, the mechanics, everything was pretty much perfect, besides obviously the length. But when it came to the Phantom Pain, it was kind of, I didn't really like it. There was pretty much no story in the game. Basically, I thought number 5 was a real mess. I mean, it wasn't Mass Effect 3 bad. Mass Effect 3 was terrible. But out of the 3D games, out of the Solid series, I think number 2 was the weakest. Number 2 and number 5, it's hard to say which one exactly.
Keep out of this, Handler. Get lost. Keep running, asshole.
Hope you enjoy those fancy hands of yours, because in less than a year they'll be worthless.
Whatever happens, my man, don't let them scare you. Don't let them beat you down.
Whoa, man. That's some getup you got. What you trying to hide?
So anyway, we're just continuing on as per usual. Now we're just wandering around in gang territory, DRB, DBR, DBD, whatever they're called, DPZ, I can't remember what they're called. I want to say DBR, but I can't remember. I can't remember what they're called exactly. DRB, I think it's DRB. My memory's not the best.
Don't come no closer, Slick. Back off. It's
Keep
too
out
late
of
to
this
run.
answer. Get lost.
You don't want to get no closer, Og.
Access granted.
Yeah, so we're just getting through the underground passages and all that sort of thing, you know. Not a lot going on so far. Just climb up the escape, the fire escape. Just looking for the apartment building that we're supposed to go to. And it's full of gangbangers. People gangbanging or doing whatever it is that
That's far enough.
people
Leave
do
quietly and you won't get hurt.
in rundown apartments.
I don't know about this. Breaking into the cop shop?
Double P says we don't got no choice. If we want to face down the ballers, we need the same firepower they got.
Now,
You really think the Popo's
I
taking
was
their
just
weapons?
wondering what the best way to deal with these two guys at once were.
Are you in on this or not?
I thought about using the stun gun, but the stun gun's got a really slow reload time. I was going to leave them, but I'm pretty sure it's part of the objective to do it, so I just threw a concussion grenade. Now, unfortunately, I thought hiding behind that sofa would have kept me from being blinded. Unfortunately, it didn't work too well, but I recovered much quicker than they did. And you'll notice one sort of just flew randomly without me doing anything. And now this guy, he must really love this couch, which kind of explains the stains all over the couch. He's just going at it. He loves it. That's just what all those stains are, obviously. For some reason, I watch him for a fairly long while. And so we're just hacking into the guy's room. Now, enemies actually do get suspicious when doors open by themselves, which is a nice touch. Although with automatic doors, I've seen some automatic doors open by themselves, but they still freak out about that.
I see.
So far, Mr. Darrow has refused our
You want to buy or sell something? It's all on the computer. What you want? Okay, that's it.
Access granted.
So anyway, we're just going through his apartment, just checking his stuff out, seeing what he's got. So looking for his codes and stuff. Now, I didn't have enough practice kits to get the level 4 lock upgrade, hacking upgrade. So I had to look around his apartment for the pocket secretary. I was just looking around for it. I couldn't remember where it was exactly, and then I remembered to find it. So I found it after I remembered. And I just got the code, and I just entered the code in. One of the great things about the PC for this game is you can use the numpad. You don't have to use the mouse cursor. So that's it's just a lot quicker. Whew, did you hear that? No, it's like that. What was it? It's like that film with that man-child in it. Will Ferrell, I think his name is. Terrible actor. Anyway, as I was saying, yes, those mines are incredibly dangerous. I just tried to. You can deactivate the mines providing you move slowly to them, and when you can turn them off when they stop when they're not flashing red. Unfortunately, I ended up grabbing the cardboard box, which of course decided to set the mine off and killed me. Just checking out his computer as well for any stuff he might be hiding on there. I always find it kind of weird when people keep stuff, you know, illicit material on their computer. It's just fairly weird to me. I mean, I'm a fairly IT technical guy, although you don't have to be an IT technical guy to realise that, you know, having illegal material, saving, you know, proof that you've got illegal material on your computer. Well, it's just basic common sense, really. But I mean, there's so many other places you could stick it. Not that I'm going to give anyone any tips or anything. Always check behind the paintings. There's always stuff behind the paintings. There's always a safe. It's a bit like, it's a somewhat of a cliche, a bit like the trapdoor under a rug type deal. It's always one I find kind of annoying. Doesn't make sense that someone would keep a trapdoor under a rug to me, but there you go. Now I failed this. Now for some reason it decided to use a nuke, pretty more or less by itself, and I didn't ask it to, which was a pain in the arse because the nukes are pretty hard to come by anyway.
Access granted.
But I got it in the end. Got through there. So that was that. So it's all good. I had a quick look in the bathroom just to see if there was anything in there that I could use, but there wasn't. Unfortunately, it wasn't anything decent on his TV. It seems, for some reason in this world, it seems that the only, unless you want to pay for, you know, the expensive TV packages or whatever package TV thing they've got, you get Picus News Network by default. That's like the only channel you get free. It's kind of an odd feature where the only TV program you can have for free is a news channel. Although it's also fairly odd that they mass produce digital newspaper tablets that they just hand out to people or whatever, if you know what I mean. So I don't have the code for that. I thought that I could find it nearby. Now I tried the classic 6969. Because the only thing better than 169 is another 69. You know, any sort of 4-digit requirement, that's the one I choose. So I don't. Anyway, continuing on. I thought that Pocket Secretary might give me the passcode, but it didn't. You'll notice there's a basketball in that that court there. That's also another achievement I'd just like to point out. I believe you only have to pick it up and bounce it around, or it's I think actually you have to score a basket with it. Now it's fairly much similar to
Did you get everything?
the Half-Life
Son of a bitch, Jensen.
2 one.
I think I have it.
Excellent, Jensen. I knew I could trust you. My guys got their hands on Double T, and you identified the shipment. Apparently you weren't so subtle with the last part, but hey, at least the job is done. What else you got?
I think O'Malley's plan was to start a controlled gang war between the derelict road ballers and the Motor City bangers. You might want to check into that.
Really? All right, I'll keep that in mind when I review all the evidence.
Here's the weapon used in the dealer's murder. Hope you can make good use of it.
You bet, big boy. I've got a feeling O'Malley's guy will become a lot more receptive to interrogation once he knows I can pin this murder on him.
I paid a little B&E visit to O'Malley's apartment. There was a second shipment of weapons, government issue. I don't know how he got his hands on that type of hardware, but the man's got reach.
Great work. Found something else?
I found a stash of illegal drugs. Not much, but enough to get him convicted.
Good. The more dirt we dig up on that asshole, the better our chances to...
I managed to hack into his personal account. I think you might want to check any connection O'Malley has with FEMA. There's definitely something going on there.
My God, Jensen. With all you've uncovered, you've probably provided us with months of legal investigation. What's next? You're gonna tell me you found proof he's got free satellite TV?
No, that about covers it.
Well, that's it. You did a great job. Here's the stuff I promised you. We've got more than enough to nail him now, and I want to make a move before that son of a bitch gets wise. But I ain't got no backup, and I doubt he'll go down peacefully. You've already done the bulk of the job. You want to put the finishing touches on yourself?
It'll be my pleasure.
Perfect. My contact tells me O'Malley's gone back to his apartment. Go get him. I'll be waiting for you in the alley near the building once you...
Cool. Now she's letting us deal with the guy. She's letting us go and arrest him. Luckily, I was right next to the main story mission, so I decided to go and just, take care of that quickly.
Have you found anything? Please, I've got to know what really happened to Megan.
I've investigated all of Detective Chase's leads. You were right. Something was off with Megan's case.
So, what did you find?
Someone in the government, a man named Manderley, ordered that a specially appointed medical examiner perform the autopsy. He bypassed the local ME. Simply put, that's not a good sign.
It sure doesn't sound good.
There were only 3 people who got out of the labs alive. Me and 2 others. One died in the hospital a few days later. The second one, a lab tech, was ready to give a detailed description of what he saw. Funny thing is, by the time the investigators got to him, he couldn't remember a thing.
You sound like you don't believe that.
I don't. Not from the reports I've read. I think someone got to him first. An officer assigned to the case was asked to get rid of a major piece of evidence. Footage from one of our intellicams showed fuzzy images of the attackers bringing something inside the labs.
What? What were they bringing in?
I don't know. But for someone higher up to want that evidence gone, it must have been important. I got my hand on a test report that confirms what was bothering Chase. The attackers used excessive measures to make bodies and equipment unidentifiable.
Oh my God, Megan. What do you make of this, Adam?
I don't know exactly. I guess the idea was to leave no traces, no DNA evidence that would link back to them. But it just seems a bit too convenient.
So what you're telling me is we couldn't find anything conclusive?
No, I'm sorry. But one thing's for sure. Somebody's been hard at work covering up and destroying evidence related to this case. Somebody with power, who wanted to erase anything that might have made the investigation linger. I'm sorry, Cassandra. I wish I had more tangible answers to give you.
It's all right, Adam. I'm sure you did all you could. At least now I know my instincts were right. And, do you know exactly how Megan died?
Her neck was snapped and her body was burned beyond recognition with a high-tech compound.
Oh, God! How can someone do something so awful to another person? I miss her so much.
So do I. But there's not much we can do about that.
Oh, Adam, there's a lot more you can do, I'm sure of it. It's strange. I thought knowing what really happened would make me feel better. But nothing will ever justify this. My daughter is gone, and I'll never get her back. I wish I could be sure she gets justice.
Trust me, she will.
It's okay. She can always have another kid, you know. It's fairly easy to have another child. Even at her age, I'm sure she's probably still got a couple more years left in her.
Where are you, Jensen? I haven't gone all night.
Hello, Pritchard. I'm almost in my apartment now.
Well, when you do get in there, connect the neural hub to your computer. I've created a secure tunnel, and I'll take over remotely.
You can access my personal computer?
Who do you think configured your security protocols?
Welcome home, Mr. Jensen.
So this is something I found funny, was that for some reason Adam Jensen doesn't know his own passcode for his own apartment. So I've still got to hack. You know, I've still got to hack my way inside my own apartment.
Access granted.
I just found that amusing and a bit of an odd thing. There's plenty of gadgets and gizmos in here. This is all pre-order bonus stuff. But with the director's cut, it all comes with the game. You know, director's cut is basically Game of the Year edition. It's pretty much the fancy French way of saying Game of the Year edition. Now that little thing there, that instantly unlocks any hacking device. Also, these books, as you can see, that I've got a scholar experience bonus. Now, if somebody I think there's 32 books, and if you get all 32, that's an achievement. But I was just looking for the books that give you a small experience boost.
Pritchard, the hub's connected.
I know. Now be quiet and let me concentrate.
I need his name, Pritchard, not his entire genetic history.
That's not his DNA. It's the data he was trying to steal from us before he... My God, Jensen. Your suicide hacker didn't kill himself.
You obviously didn't see his brain splattered all over the floor.
No, you don't understand. The wet drive modification in this chip, it allows someone to hack through you. It turns you quite literally into a human proxy.
So he wasn't working alone. Someone off-site was doing the actual hacking.
Exactly. And whoever it was tried to hide his location by using multiple satellites. But I may have just traced him to here, an abandoned factory complex in Highland Park.
Get me the address, Pritchard. Because if we're lucky, whoever pulled our terrorist strings might still be there.
Now, I always thought it was kind of obvious that that hacker was, you know, being controlled by somebody else, especially when he raised the gun to his own head and said, "Help me." That was pretty obvious. I guess they felt that they really need to show it or tell you just in case you didn't get that. Although it was so obvious that I don't think anybody got that. And it just came across as insulting.
Park.
Not just yet. Frank's figured out why the network's been compromised. There's a persistent transmission coming from Derelict Row.
Street gang territory?
Well, our dead friend was posing as an Antioch. Who better to hide with than the D-Row ballers?
Right. I'm on my way.
Anyway, so we've got that part of the story done. Just moving on now to the next section.
Jensen, I'd appreciate it if you instructed your street informants to use more conventional means of contacting you.
What are you talking about, Pritchard?
I mean, I found a message stapled to your door. Colo, alley off Bagley Avenue, Ezekiel. How cryptic.
That's near Seraph HQ. I'll look into it. Oh, and it's Cholo.
Now, I like that Pritchard, that IT guy, pretty much because he resembles me in a lot of ways. I'm an IT guy, and the fact that he can't be dealing with slang really does my head in. You know, you hear the kids talking about, I don't know, all sorts now, and it just goes over my head.
Mr. Jensen. Don't know why I didn't recognize you the first time. Here to make sure your treachery is complete.
You play a dangerous game, O'Malley. Manipulating people, killing them. What's happening here shouldn't come as a surprise. It's an inevitable consequence.
In the end, it seems you and I aren't so different, Mr. Jensen. You too seem to consider this world only through cold, hard facts.
Whatever. I'm here to arrest you. I strongly suggest you consider a peaceful resolution.
I'm afraid I won't be able to comply, Mr. Jensen. But allow me to make you a different offer.
I'm listening.
I don't resent you for what you did. You played your cards and alliances well, and it's something I can respect. Still, it doesn't mean that I accept defeat. I'm willing to transfer to you a rather enviable sum in exchange for my freedom.
Yes, so there's no karma system in this game, so it doesn't matter really if you do accept or decline. I'm doing accept because I need the money.
Come on, Mr. Jensen.
If you do accept, you also earn an achievement for it.
The money is in your apartment on your table. Now, if you excuse me, I have somewhere to be.
You can either do, if you do decline, then you earn an achievement for completing the quest, I believe. And if you do accept, you earn an achievement for taking that guy's money. Now, like I said, there's no karma system in this game, and the quests don't really matter all that much. It's just they have no lasting effects. So I just accepted it.
So, what happened?
But that's the end of the episode. So thanks for watching.
He wasn't in there. I think he's gone.
Fuck! Someone must have tipped him off. If he's really gone, that's it. No way we'll get another poke at a sneaky bastard like that. Months of work gone to shit. If you don't mind, I gotta be alone, Jensen. I need to wrap my head around all this.
Someone over there?